Hi everyone, my name is Tiffany Kelly. I'm a Lensbaby trailblazer and I'm super excited to talk to you today about the newest addition to the Lensbaby family, which is the Twist 28. It comes in this super cute pouch, which I really love because I feel like this makes it so easy to like throw in your bag and it's going to protect your lens, which is amazing. And I just wanted to start by showing you guys a visual because I think sometimes when you're looking at a photo online, it can be hard to tell how big something is. So I think that one of the benefits of this lens is that it's really, really small. It's got a really thin profile. It's really lightweight, which is amazing. So I think that will make for a really great like travel lens because you can just toss in your bag. It's not going to take up a lot of space. It's not going to weigh you down. I think it would also be really great for like a photo walk lens. I don't know about you guys, but I love going on photo walks, especially with other photographers. And I think this lens would be perfect for a scenario like that because again, it's not going to weigh you around if you're walking around with it for a really long time, not going to add much weight to your camera at all. And it's really versatile, so really great for a variety of genres of photography. So I'm going to show you some examples in a little bit. And kind of show you the different genres that I've shot with this lens and the different styles of images that you can get. So those are a couple of the big perks, I think, of this lens. And then I also just wanted to show you guys the difference between the Twist 60 and the 28. So if you have the 60 and you're kind of expecting them to be similar, in terms of the effect that they give, they are quite similar, but in terms of their like physical qualities, obviously quite different. Um, the 60 is much bigger. Also, this is just a standalone lens, one piece all by itself, whereas the 60 is it is actually an optic in a fixed composer that's fixed. So just some differences there. So I feel like one of the big benefits of this is I know a lot of people love to shoot really wide, great for street photography. Um, and just that it is so small and so light and easy to walk around with all day or throw in your travel bag. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'm excited to like show you through some examples of different genres that I've shot with the Twist 28 and also give you a few tips and tricks. So thanks for joining me, and we'll stay tuned.
Okay, so now that you've gotten to see visually what the new Twist 28 looks like, I mainly just want to guide you through and show you some examples with the lens so that you can visually see what kind of effect you can expect, and also go through a few tips and tricks and things that I've learned from getting to explore with the Twist 28. So we will dive right in. Oops. Okay. So these are some of the benefits I feel like of this lens. I already talked about how small and lightweight it is. I think this is a huge benefit for anyone who likes to travel with their photography equipment or go on long photo walks. I just love not having to lug around really heavy lenses and really heavy gear. So I think that's a huge benefit. Also, like if you're traveling and you're trying to decide what lenses to take, I love that this one doesn't take up much extra room in your bag if you want to add it in there. Another benefit is that I think it's really versatile. So today I'll show you some of the examples that I've gotten to shoot with the Twist 28 and show you kind of all the different genres that you can use this lens for. So it's got a really wide range of uses, which is wonderful. I also just think it's a really fun effect and it creates amazing bokeh. If you're a fan of the look of like a Helios lens, this lens will give you that beautiful swirl, but with sort of an updated modern glass. So really fun effect to add to your images. Going back to photo walks, I feel like, or even just kind of like if you find yourself photographing really popular places to photograph, I feel like we're in this world where, you can see this really amazing, beautiful thing, but a lot of people have taken the same image from the same place, Or, sometimes you're on a photo walk and same idea, everybody's pictures kind of start to look the same. So I feel like a huge benefit of this lens is that it's going to give you really unique images compared to someone just using a regular lens. So super fun to play around with, gives a great effect. And if you're a bokeh lover like me, you'll get some really pretty swirly bokeh. Another benefit I think is that the aperture is fixed, because I feel like sometimes we can get decision fatigue because there's just so many decisions, right? You've got to decide where to stand, how far you are from your subject, what angle you're going to use. You've got to decide your ISO and your shutter speed, your white balance, all these decisions. So I kind of love that they took aperture out of the equation for us by choosing the one that works best for this lens. So it's a fixed aperture of 3.5. And again, I think it's great for beginners because that's one less thing you have to decide, and just helps make one fewer decision for all of us. This is my daughter in her Halloween costume. So I think this is a great example of how you can take something kind of very mundane, but get a really unique creative image because the background is just so fun. If I had taken this with a normal lens, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting. So just to talk through some of the different genres that I got to use this lens for, it's beautiful for portraits. Again, it's going to make your background really interesting. Even like the one on the right here, I thought was a great example because the background was just stone stairs, not that interesting, but the swirl adds so much interest to the background. And then obviously in the other two, love the effect that the swirl has on the bokeh within the image. So one tip for using the twist is to really think about your distance between yourself and your subject, but also really think about your distance between your subject and the background. Because the more distance you can get there, the more of the effect will be like apparent in your image. But so I actually had a lot of fun using this for portraiture for a senior session. And again, just gives your client some like really unique images that you're not going to see everywhere. I also like just kind of some nature images. I wish I had some landscape examples. I just didn't really go anywhere fun recently. Like the beach or something, I would have loved to gotten some like beach landscape images, but just haven't had the opportunity yet. But we'll definitely be bringing this lens with me next time I get to go to the beach. But super fun for just kind of naturey images. Again, the swirl is going to give you a lot more interest to your image and create like a depth and a feeling of movement that I think is going to make your images really stand out. I also loved, this was probably my favorite use, was kind of close-up nature. So I just focused the lens as close as possible. I wouldn't call it macro quite, but you can definitely get some close-up nature images. Absolutely love what this does to kind of isolate the background. Because I think if I had used a regular lens for these, the background would be a little bit more busy and distracting. But this lens allowed me to just really get this amazing separation between my subject and my background, and just made the backgrounds look so beautiful and interesting. So had a lot of fun with these. And then because macro is my favorite, I did use extension tubes just to play around with the lens. And I think the images are good. I had a lot of fun playing with it in the macro realm. I think you do lose a little bit of the swirl effect. Like in this image on the left, I was hoping the bokeh would like swirl a little bit more. But I think it might just be that I placed the lights too close to my subject. And I maybe kind of needed them a little bit further away to get the full swirl effect. But I do love, like in the right image with the water droplets, that you do really get that fun, swirly, blurry bokeh effect. So this was really fun to play around with macro extension tubes. And then I don't normally do pet photography, but I had a lot of fun having my friend's dog model for me. And this was, I think, my first time using the lens. So I was in kind of really a mundane area. It was just her patio. It was kind of messy, not particularly, beautiful, but it was really fun to see kind of how changing up my angle really changed the effect that the twist had on the background. Um, so in this series, like the one on the left where we've got some light peeking in from the sky on the top left was probably my favorite, because I just love how the swirl is rendered in the light and in the bokeh up there. But I think the other two are also great examples of how you can have kind of a boring background, just a brick walkway or a deck, and the effect from the twist just adds so much interest and dimension and kind of a feeling of movement. And again, I feel like the effect really helps, just like with the tulips, it helps your subject to really pop out against your background, even when you have a background that's kind of busy like these. So I think that's another huge benefit to this lens is you really get this cool like subject isolation. Another fun thing that you could do with the twist if you wanted to is kind of create your own overlays to use in Photoshop and kind of layer with another image. So on the left, I shot that image with the Twist 28, and I photographed it intentionally out of focus. I wanted to get this really blurry bokeh. This was just in my backyard, so it was just super quick and fast, so not the prettiest background in the world. So I think I could have gotten a much like better, more interesting overlay if I had put a little more effort into it. But I was just trying to do something really quickly, just to demonstrate to you guys. So on the left is the intentionally out of focus overlay that I created, and then the middle image has the overlay laid on top of it, and the right image as well. The right image I just did I think a little bit lower opacity with the overlay just to help it blend with the image in the background a little bit more. But so this is a cool way that you could achieve that twist effect on your image, even in post processing. So you could apply it on an image that you didn't originally shoot with that effect. So this is definitely something I would like to play around with more, and yeah, shooting intentionally out of focus and getting some really cool bokeh images and then using those as overlays. So that's a really fun thing that you can do with the twist as well. And then I just wanted to do a quick comparison. Of course, it was like raining the day that I needed to do this. And so this is just in my backyard where I could be covered under my deck. So, not an interesting image at all, but just wanted to kind of show you the difference between the 28 and the 60 in case you have the 60. Obviously, huge difference in the focal length. And I also feel like the 28 has a little bit more of a vignette to it, which I think helps in some of the examples I showed earlier to kind of give that background separation. Like I think the vignette can actually help with that. Um, so yeah, just kind of a quick comparison. I do think, the 28 is advantageous in a lot of ways if you like to shoot street photography or if you like to shoot landscapes. Obviously, having that wide focal length is going to be really beneficial for you. I also think it's great for like those close-up nature images. The minimum focus distance is 8 inches, which is really nice, I think, because I like to be kind of up close and personal with my nature subjects. So I love that you can get focus even at 8 inches, which is great. And yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say. I hope that like the examples were helpful to kind of show you like the wide variety of images that you can create with this lens. And I just want to say thank you for watching. Um, I have been teaching photography online since 2015. I especially love to teach macro photography, so if you're interested in that, I have a couple class options there. And then there's my contact info as well. So if you have any questions about which Lensbaby is best for you or need some help, I would love to hear from you and feel free to reach out. Thank you.